sponsored L'Schus Mishpacha Siegel from Edison, New Jersey. We have a guest here. Bracha v'atzlachu parnasa toiva b'zar shel kayama. So, amen on the last part. Big one. Who's hanging this up? Shkoyach. All right. First, we have a picture here. This is what you do when you leave the shir early, he says. When you need to leave shir early. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. In the car, from our friend Jonathan. All right. This is the longest email I've received so far. Wins the record, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's massive. Shalom Aleichem. Firstly, a big mazel tov to you and your whole shir on your second year anniversary. You should all continue your amazing work. Lahagdil Torah La'adiro. This is my first time doing Daf Yomi, and I got to admit that I started listening to different shir. Using your 8-minute video as chazar, the problem was that sometimes I was only able to do it late at night, and the other Maggid shir was no good. No, I'm just kidding. The other Maggid shir has a very low amount of voice and no video. And I found myself dozing off during the shir. So I was looking for a different shir, and I decided to give your full shir daf a shot. Wow! What a difference. Yours is pumping and has video. It moves around sometimes. He's talking about you, I think, Avi, that you go like this. No, not that part. And I don't think I could fall asleep during the shir, even if I tried. So Yosha Koyach, the only Daddy Kornbluth will teach you a couple lessons there. Just wanted to make 2 quick general points, and I have one specific question on recent shir. 1, I'm not sure if you're aware, but the camera you're using cuts out a few times during the video. We just solved that problem a second ago. It's gone. We kicked. Avi's camera is gone.
Retired that camera.
We retired. Number 2, I don't want to chas v'shalom question how you give over the shir, but something I noticed that happened a few times, that you spent a bit more time in the first amud, and then there's like...
Only once or twice. That's just...
And then there's like 10 minutes left of the shir. You turn the page, this guy's a rookie. He has no clue. Everybody here knows that Amud Beis is always shorter and easier than Amud Aleph. So he just has to get used to it. No, it is an issue. It's called time management. And we're working on it. It's a work in progress. You turn the page and then fly through the second Amud. I'll buy very clearly and thoroughly, but it's just hard to keep up with you sometimes when that happens. Last is the specific question. He talks about if Rabbeinu was Rav or Rabbeinu was Rebbe. I would love feedback on all these points and understand you can't read this whole email aloud, but I'm happy for you to say aloud whatever you want. And if you do, please also send my warm regards to my good friend, Harav Yosef Herman. Now, Rav Yosef Herman, it so happens to be that today is his son's Bay Bayoim. It's incredible that it's a coincidence. Ashgacha Pratis. It also so happens to be that Yosef is my twin. A lot of people are giving him donations to the shul. That's why they're not coming in so stark, the donations. And I'm going to do to him what he did to me. He came to my son's bar mitzvah and collected all the gifts. So tonight is my revenge. Anyways, there's a kiddush on Shabbos in his house, Nachshon 5. After davening is here in Bnei Yeshivas, Ta'alila Torah. And also I want to take this opportunity because, again, like yesterday, people said, how could I contribute? And people want to contribute. Yosef went and contributed with his own hands, his bare hands. He came over and offered to build a kitchen, and he literally built a kitchen piece by piece. He bought a kit. It's a beautiful kitchen, but it's a kit, and took many, many hours to put together and many hours to hang and everything. So it was mamish tzedakah b'yadayim, which is the whole different level. Thanks again for all you do, and hoping to be able to come and visit the shir sometime soon. Sincerely, Isi Ben Zaken, Rechavia, Yerushalayim. Okay, and just one final picture. This is the boys from Ben Ashra at Buckingham Palace. It says, Buckingham Palace, the daf never stops. They're steiging away, it looks like, in Buckingham. This is my son. I love this kid. All right, Yavaldik. Let's go. We got a serious sugi here. And also today, I received a beautiful testimonial from a very good friend of ours. I've never really met him, but I feel like I know him through Nachman Seltzer and all the shout-outs. Avrami Lebowitz from Borough Park. I had no idea that he's a real Hasidic Haimish Yid, a beautiful testimonial. So whoever could send testimonials, we're looking to put together a short clip for Yeshiva World News. And with that came invitation. He said he would love to be here for the Siyum, but his chas. It goes like this. I got to say this real quickly. He accepted upon himself to learn the daf, and when he accepted upon himself to learn the daf, 40 days later, his son became a chassan. He said he's going to do it for 40 days, and that's the day that his son became a chassan. So he sent me an invitation to prove it, and he said, okay, since it works, he's going to continue weiter. So he never missed a day. So Mazel Tov Avrami, Mazel Tov, and all the Haimish Yidin in Borough Park. All right. Zog the Gemara. We're holding Daf Nun Beis Amud Aleph. So we had a very long Mishnah with 8 different machlokes of Bisham and Yisrael that talk about different halachas in Suda, and we promised we're going to go into them in detail, not stam. We're going to go on a very wild ride today through Tumah and Tara and all sorts of beautiful things. So the Gemara asks, V'sari Bishamai the Birkas Hayom Adifa. The first machlokes that we learned is that according to Beis Shammai, you make a kiddush first, and then you make the bracha on wine. You make kiddush and then ala gefen. Now in Havdalah, if we compare Havdalah to this, how would that work? And that's the Gemara's question. Havdalah, when we say Baruch Hamav Mikodesh L'chol, that bracha is like kiddush hayom. Yet Beis Shammai say that you say yayin before Havdalah. So that would be a problem. That's basically the Gemara's kasha. How does it work with Havdalah? Now, to get to that point is a very lengthy raya, and we have to see how it fits in with Beis Shammai. Because the Bryce that the Gemara brings a question from doesn't even mention a name. It doesn't say that's Beis Shammai. So, if it doesn't mention Beis Shammai, how do we know it's Beis Shammai? The Gemara goes through a whole proof. I see we have a number of guests here. Shalom Aleichem to you. Shalom Aleichem to you. Shalom Aleichem. Where are you from? Baltimore, Maryland. Another Baltimore. And you? Highland Park, New Jersey. We just had Highland Park, Illinois. The guy that brought the coffee, right? He was from Highland Park.
There's 3 of them, Highland Park, New Jersey.
Another Highland Park, New Jersey. 2 Highland Park, New Jersey. Do you know guys know each other? They know each other. Okay, beautiful.
It's like a contest.
Gewaldig. So we have 3 guests today.
Where more people going to come from?
We're going to have more guests than
Is it Baltimore?
Beautiful.
Is it New Jersey? Who's winning?
Edison and Highland Park are the same.
I think we should have a scoreboard.
And we have 4. We have Mr. Siegel from another, so 3 Edisons.
New Jersey's beating.
We're like the biggest share in Edison, basically. Zog the Gemara. Vasanya, what's the kasha? Vasanya, anichnas lebeisiv mitzvah Shabbos mivarach ala yayin v'ala ma'or v'ala b'samim. Is this what we do? You come home from shul on Motzei Shabbos, you make yayin, ma'or, you do on the candle, then b'samim. Is that what we do? Rabbi say, No, we do b'samim and then ner. Okay. V'achar kach oimer al Havdalah. This is the problem. If we stop right here, this is the problem because it says Havdalah is last, and Havdalah is like Kiddush Hayom. Beis Shammai says Kiddush comes first, and then Yayin, then you make a Gofen. Over here it says the opposite. You make Gofen, and then whatever you do in between, Ma'ar, Psamim, and all the way at the end is Havdalah. What's the Pshat? Now I just have to do one thing. I have to prove that this is Beis Shammai, and this will be a problem with our Mishnah. What if he only has 1 cup, and he wants to eat a meal? He wants to eat a meal, and if you eat a meal, you have to do zimun. If you do zimun, you need a cup of wine. But I only have 1 cup of wine. I can't do Havdalah and make a cup of wine on my meal. So what do? He eats a meal. We give him a heter. It's also to eat before Havdalah. Over here, we give him a heter to eat before Havdalah because he only has 1 cup. So what does he do? He says Birkas Hamazon, and then he makes all 3 brachas of Yayin, and 4, whatever, all the brachas, and then he says Havdalah. Okay, so the problem is, why is Havdalah after wine? So now the Gemara just proves it. Just. Who told you that this is Beis Shammai, that you're asking a question on Beis Shammai? Because it says that first comes the candle, then comes the Besamim, Uman Shabbos le Isli Haisvar. Who says first candle then B'samim? Beishamai. It almost makes sense for us because we do the opposite of Beishamai, which is B'samim then Mar. Fine. The Sanya, Rabbi Yehuda Oimer. So let's look at this for a second. It looks like some crossword puzzle, whatever. We'll make some sense out of this. We have Bishamai B'Sila, Bishamai B'Sila. There's machlokes. What is the machlokes of Bishamai B'Sila? Machlokes in Meir and Yehuda. What is the machlokes? So these are just Rosh Tevis, what we're talking about. Ner, Mazoin, B'Samim, Havdalah. No, this is Mazoin. B'Samim, Ner is the first one. Ner is the first, Nun is Ner. B'Samim, Mazoin, Havdalah. Okay? I even put a little thing. This corresponds to here. The light, the B'Samim, the Birkas HaMazoin, and Havdalah. If you look closely, you'll notice that in all the Machlokes, whether it's Bisham Beisil and Remeir Yehuda, in Remeir, they both agree to the beginning and the end. In Remeir, they all agree that Ner is first, Havdalah is last. And in Rabbi Yehuda, they all agree that Mazon, Birkas HaMazon is first and Havdalah is last. All four agree Havdalah is last. Okay? The Machlokes is in the middle. In Remeir, do you do Mazon then B'Samim or B'Samim then Mazon? And in Rabbi Yehuda, the Machlokes is do you do Ner and then B'Samim or B'Samim then Ner? You're not expected to remember all this Baal Peh. Okay, so now, if we're going to go in Rabbi Yehuda, the Sanya, Rabbi Yehuda, and this Rabbi Yisai is on Amud Beis. This whole Machlokes is on Amud Beis. So if we learn this now in Amud Beis, that's why Amud Beis always goes quicker. We'll be able to fly through this on Amud Beis. Omar Rabbi Yehuda lo yinechlegu beishamai b'sil ala mazin shebatchila ala avdalah shebasoif. What? Hold on. So if we're talking about Rabbi Yehuda, there's no machlokes on Birkas HaMazon and no machlokes on Havdalah according to everybody. The Birkas HaMazon in the beginning, Havdalah is at the end. The machlokes between Beisil and Beishamai is right over here. Does Ner come before Psamim? Does Psamim come before Ner? What do? Oh, okay. So we're not in Rabbi Yehuda. We go like Rabbi. Okay, fine. Yayin over here is by Mazon, because you're making Birkas HaMazon Yayin on the Zimun. Okay. Amen nechlaku. Alam Ar v'al B'Samim. If we're looking at this bottom machlokes in Rabbi Yehuda, the whole machlokes between Beishan and Beisil are just these two. Does Ner come before B'Samim? Or does B'Samim come before Ner? We need to get the screen so everybody can see. Be'ezer Hashem, it's coming any day. Ner, B'Samim, Ner. A guy walked in from Chicago, a week ago, Motzei Shabbos, and he donated the TVs. So we have to just pick them up and get them. Talk to Gary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'akol niyeh b'dvaroi. B'Shamai omrim ma'or v'ach kach B'Samim, u'Beisilo omrim B'Samim v'ach kach ma'or. Okay. Umemai, says the Gemara, Umay B'Shamai v'ali b'Rabbi Yehuda. Who told you that just because the B'Samim comes before the Ner, it goes according to B'Shamai? Perhaps it goes according to Beis Hillel. Let's see. Umay B'Shamai v'ali b'Rabbi Yehuda, Dilma Beis Hillel v'ali b'Rabbi. And then if it goes according to Beis Hillel, in Remeir, then we don't have a kasha. According to them, wine comes before Havdalah. Like in the Mishnah, everything will fit in great. Says the Gemara, Lo yisol kedaitach. Diktani hacha b'masnisin, in our version says, B'shamai oimrim ner u'mazoin b'samim v'havdalah. Ner, mazoin, b'samim, havdalah. U'Beis Hillel oimrim Ner u'b'samim mazin avdallah. Ner b'samim mazin avdallah. So this is going according to Remeir. Im ein lo elo kois echad manichu lachar mazoin. Oh, sorry. Where am I? Basically, ner b'samim mazin avdallah. Also, Brisa Katani, but the Brisa that we just asked a question from. Im ein lo elo kois echad manichu lachar mazoin u'mishashim kulim lachrov. So in the Brisa it says Mefurish that first goes Birkas Hamazon, then go the other ones. Shma mino the Beishamai v'aliba the Rabbi Yehuda. This order of Birkas Hamazon and then these three could only fit in to Rabbi Yehuda according to Beishamai, because according to Remeir and Beishamai, Mazon comes after Ner. The only way this Brisa that says first you bench and then you do everything that has to do with Havdalah after benching, that only fits in according to Rabbi Yehuda. You see, benching comes first and then comes these three.
Maybe it's base Hillel though.
Right. Because the Brisa, what's the Brisa? The Brisa says Mazain, what's the order? Look in the Brisa. Mazain comes first, then Mishalshalin. Then you do the other three that have to do with Havdalah. It can't be Beis Hillel because Beis Hillel say, we're talking about Beis Hillel and Remeir. It can't be Beis Hillel and Remeir because Ner comes first. We're talking about Mazain comes first and then the Havdalah. So that could only be in Beis Shammai, in Rabbi Yehuda. I don't know what we do without a chart. The bottom line is, we have a problem here. In our Mishnah it says that according to Beis Shammai you do Kiddush and then Bari Priya Gofen. And in the Brisa it says first you do Bari Priya Gofen and then Havdalah. And Havdalah is equal to Kiddush. No? Okay, forget what we're passing. Forget what we're passing. Don't confuse yourself. Well, there's way too much stuff going on today to get into that stuff. Again, this is the Brisa. Basically, we proved that this is the Brisa. Mazain, Besamim, Ner, Havdalah, and that can only go according to Beis Shammai in Rabbi Yehuda. There's no other option. This puzzle, Mem Beis Nun Hey, is only Beis Shammai in Rabbi Yehuda. And look, Havdalah is at the end. Havdalah is equal to Kiddush. And Kiddush should be in the beginning, and then Yain, then Birkas HaMazon. It should be before, Havdalah should be before Birkas HaMazon, asked the Gemara. So what's the obvious answer? We all know the answer to this. When it comes to Shabbos, you want to let Shabbos out late. So therefore, you push off Havdalah to the last moment possible. But when it comes to accepting Shabbos, you want to do Shabbos first. So therefore, in the Mishnah, Beis Shammai hold that you do Kiddush before Yain. Exactly. It's a song. You come out of whoever keeps Shabbos longer. They take him out of Gehenna longer later. That's why people make 72, etc. So the Gemara, Kasavri Beis Shammai Shani Ayule Yoime Mapuke Yoima. It's different to accept Shabbos than to let Shabbos out. Ayule Yoima Kamad Magdina Le Adif. The earlier you make Shabbos, the better. Apuke Yoima Kamad Machrina Le Adif. So even in those moments that it takes just to say a bracha, we want to push Shabbos off as much as possible. Ki heichi de lehevi alon kemasui. Yeah, you have these teenagers that are constantly asking, when Shabbos over? When Shabbos over? That, they want to get onto the phone, they want to take a smoke, whatever it is. When Shabbos over? It shouldn't be a masui. It should be geschmack. Huh? In general, okay, fine. Taiva, whatever the taiva is. Ako upon him, it shouldn't be a masui. Should understand that as long as Shabbos, the Chofetz Chaim talks about it a lot. The whole Bezeis HaPechat Halechem is only on the other 6 days of the week. So as long as you have Shabbos, you don't have a problem making parnasa, etc. Once Shabbos is over, then you have to start working. I'll go upon him. So that's sugya. Now we have a little break for a few lines. So the whole proof is that we're doing Birkas HaMazon, and Birkas HaMazon needs Yayin. You asked me before, where's the Yayin? Yayin is part of the Birkas HaMazon. The requirement of the Birkas HaMazon needs a wine. So that's how we prove wine comes before Havdalah. But where do you see B'chlal that Beis Shammai hold that when you do Birkas HaMazon, you need a cup of wine? In our Mishnah, one of the machlokes we had is that if on a weekday, right before Birkas HaMazon, they finished eating, but before Birkas HaMazon, they brought him a cup of wine. If you only have one cup of wine, you should make a bracha on the wine. Now, if you were just reading the Mishnah as is without any explanation, what does that mean to you? You should make a bracha on the wine and do what? drink it, and then bench. Meaning that you don't have to make yayin on Birkas Hamazon. It doesn't say you should keep the wine all the way to after. Make a bracha on the wine. That's what we typically do. We make a bracha and then we drink. Says the Gemara, "My lav the mevarach lavei v'shasilei." L'chayra means it's taking us. Noam was pointing out something, that the style of the Gemara was written in a question and answer. The Gemara knows the answer, but it's a way to get the Talmidim involved. You don't say, no, we're talking about that you drink the wine after. It's like, ask a question. Oh, are you supposed to? No, you're not supposed to drink. Sometimes the questions are obvious. It's a style of, that's the way the Gemara is written. Question, answer, question, answer. My love, the mevarach lavei v'shasilei. The mevarach lavei u'manachlei, which is an issue. It's a problem. It's not such a great term. Yeah, it's a little bit of doichak. I make a bracha and then I wait 10 minutes until I'm done benching. It's a little weird. Usually we make a bracha. You try not to make a hefsek. Oh, v'amamar mevarach tzarich sheyitayim. It says mefurish, you have to taste the wine right away. When you make a bracha on a gafen and other places, you taste. It says Gemara's the timeline. You're right. He takes a little sip. Oh, v'amamar tamei pagmai. But if you take a sip from the actual cup, you asked me yesterday, right? About putting the wine back in, the water, I think it has to do with this. Chassidim don't want to be paigim, so they take water. So I think it has to do with that. If you drink, you go like this, you take a sip, everything in here becomes pagim. I can't use this for Kiddush anymore. I can't use it for Birkas Hamazon. It's gone. What? Okay, maybe. I think there's a. It's also according to the girl. The tarmley. Well, let's see in a second if you could put more in, because we're talking about a person that doesn't have more wine, right? We start off the sugya. He doesn't have more wine. What does he do? He only has one cup. So now it's not wine anymore. The tarmley biyadei. Says the Gemara, takes the wine, pours it in. I'm not going to demonstrate. He pours it into his hand and drinks from his hand. So he wasn't paigim it. So now he's yaitza. That's also a problem, by the way, according to Basil. Now the wine is not so good. According to Basil, we'll see later, and it might have to do with the sugi that we're learning, that the hands are tamei, not tamei. The Gemara assumes that he started off with 1 cup of wine, literally 1 revius of wine. Now, you take from the revius of wine, and you pour it into your hand, you have less than a revius. So how are you going to make a bracha on the Birkas Hamazon? No, he had a larger cup. It had more than a kizais, a revius. It seems like that's all you have, Katani. 1 cup. He says, no, you didn't understand. It's a little bit more than 1. You didn't have 2. It means all the Gemara. So to set up the case, a guy has enough wine for like 1.5 cups, but now he can't make zimun and kiddush. He can't do 2 things at the same time. So what does he do? Havdalah, whatever. So he uses 1 cup, but he has enough that he could fill it up a little bit. So he could take off, pour in his hand, taste it, biyoitz all these problems, and then refill his cup a little. Fine, that he has. Now we have another problem. Reb Chia says, in the name of Bisham Yoimrim, Mevarach alayayin v'shoiseyu. This is checkmate. There's no answer to this, because it says mefurish in a brisa that what do? Mevarach alayayin v'shoiseyu. Before we didn't have this word v'shoiseyu. It just said mevarach alayayin. So I could be doichek. He takes a little sip. He fills it up later, and all these things. But when it says v'shoiseyu, he drink up the entire cup, and you have nothing left. So when you get to Birkas Hamazon, you have 0. So what does that tell me? The Beis Shammai hold you don't need a cup of wine for Birkas Hamazon. Ella, Noam knows the teretz to this one without even looking in. Ella treitanoi v'aliv the Beis Shammai. You must say that our Mishnah, we went through all these doichaks that he drank a little bit and he refilled. Our Mishnah holds that you need. That you don't need. You don't need a cup of wine, because you have less. But the Brisa holds that you need. Yeah? So there is machlokes in Mishamai whether or not you need a cup. You're right. You have a brisa, you can't get away from the brisa. The brisa says you don't need a cup of wine. And the Mishnah says you do need a cup of wine. Shalom. All right. What? Where?
On your shirt. You have Beishamai, top, you have Beishamai Sil, and you still Beishamai flip.
No, but the sheet is right. You're just saying that the... No, look inside. Yeah. In Rabbi Yehuda. You have in Rabbi Yehuda? In Rabbi Yehuda. We're going to go through the Gemara again, we'll see. It's wrong? Aman nechlaku. But what does Beishamai say? B'sam ner Avdallah. Fine. Beishamai Yoimim. Here comes a nice sugya of Tum and Tahara. We'll do it again. If I'm wrong, you'll point it out. Torah Habbarim Beishamai Yoimim noitun liyadayim v'achkach moizgim esakos. We have machlokes in the Mishnah. What comes first? Do you wash your hands and then you pour the cup? Or do you pour the cup and then you wash your hands? Shima ta'omer moizgim esakos tchila gzeira shema yitamu mashkim sha'achorei hakois machmas yodov v'yachzeru v'yitamu esakos. Okay. So this is Beishamai. Here goes. Machlokes. I have a cup. According to Beishamai, I'm most concerned about my cup becoming tamei. I cannot have, according to Beishamai, there is a concept called a d'Rabbanan tumah, that the tumah is only on the outside of my cup, not on the inside. That's only d'Rabbanan. According to Beishamai, that would be also for me to use this cup for Kiddush, for Birkas Hamazon. So I am most concerned of keeping this cup tar from the outside. Says Beishamai. Now, let's go one step before that, maybe. Let's go back just a basic lesson in Tumah. In Tumah, you have Avi Avoisa Tumah, a dead corpse. You have Ava Tumah, it's a person that touched a dead corpse, or a sheretz, a dead sheretz. They that touch a kli, it always goes down one step. Every time it's one step. Almost always, besides in our sugya. It goes down one step. So if a Ava Tumah, a guy that touched the corpse, who's Ava Tumah, touches a kli, that kli becomes a rishon. The rishon that touches a piece of food, that food becomes one step lower, a sheni. And that's it. Sheni can't do anything to chulin unless it's truma, then the truma becomes shlishi, unless the truma touches kachim, which become revi, and then paraduma, we're not going to get into it, and goes on forever. It goes one step lower. There's one exception to the rule, and that's in our sugya. That if a sheni touches liquid, that liquid becomes a rishon, becomes worse than it. How could that be? It's a derabanan. And why is it? Because there's a very strong tumah of a zav and a zava, the mashkim that come out of a zav, his spit, etc. They're very strong. So in order to make exer to that, they made it that if you have a fruit, your own hands are a sheni l'tumah until you wash until sidai. So there a sheni that touches liquid, that liquid becomes a rishon. What does a rishon do? It makes something else a sheni. So if I touch liquid, my sheni hands touch a liquid that becomes a rishon, that liquid touches a fruit, the fruit becomes a sheni. If that liquid touches a kli, that kli becomes tamei. In return, it becomes tamei. So what's going on here? Now, say Beishamai, I need to make care. I need to make sure that my kli doesn't become tamei on the outside. So what do? I have to wash my hands. Because if I don't wash my hands, what if my hands touch liquid that's touching the kli, will make the kli tamei? Because my hands touch the liquid, it becomes a rishon. The rishon will make the kli tamei. So in Mela, I have to wash my hands first. But Beisil say the opposite. Beisil say, I don't care about tumah on the outside of the kli. That doesn't bother me. You can make kiddush. You can make a Birkas Hamazon with a kli that's tamei. What's the problem? The problem is that my hands can't become tummy. I need to wash my hands. Why do we wash our hands before we make hamaitzi? Because I need clean hands. I'm concerned that my hands will become tummy. Say Basil. How are they going to become tummy? Through touching liquid. Through touching liquid that touches my hands. My hands will in return become tummy. Let's see inside. No, so the liquid on my hand, let's say there's a sheni on my kli, a sheni liquid on my kli, or on my hand. Let's say the kli is tummy. Kli is tummy. No, the kli is tummy. This kli is tummy because according to Beis Hillel, I'm allowed to use a tummy kli. I just wash my hands, so they're a little wet. That wetness touches the kli and turns the wetness into a rishon. My wet hands now become a rishon, and the wet hands make my hands tummy, a sheni.
So you're exactly where you started.
Exactly where I started, and I want to be clean hands. Again, according to Beis Hillel, I have dirty hands. My hands are sheni, so I go to the sink and I wash my hands. Before I was able to wipe my hands down clean, I touch this cup that's tummy. So the moisture on my hands become a rishon, and then they're already touching my hands, so my hands become a sheni. All right, we got to go weiter. So the guy from Rechavia shouldn't be right. We'll have 11 minutes maybe.
It sounds like it's never going to end though.
No, but if I'm careful, so let's see what Beis Hillel say. Let's go. It's a very tough sugya, so that's why we're going slow here. And it doesn't get easier. Says B'Shamai, if you pour the cup first, we're concerned that behind the outside of the cup, they will become tamei. The liquid on the outside of the cup will become tamei. Machmas yodav. His hands that are sheni will touch the liquid on the cup. And then the cup will become tamei. And Beis Shammai is very concerned about you using a tamei cup. As the Gemara just explains this, what we already know. Why do I need this liquid to be the intermediary? What's the word? Whatever the word is. Frankincense. Why can my hand that's a sheni touch the kais and make the kais directly tamei? Yadayim shni is saying. Because a shvein sheni or a shlishi. My hand is a sheni can make a shlishi, but not in a kli. It can't make something a shlishi. It doesn't have the power to make anything tamei. Mashkin. But with liquid, since liquid goes back one, becomes a rishon. Now the rishon makes the kli that it's touching a sheni. According to Beis Hillel, the chashash is not the kli. The chashash is your own hands. Because if you wash your hands first, maybe the liquid on your hands are going to touch the cup, and then it will make your hands tamei. Tosfos says, what's the difference when you wash your hands in the middle of the meal? Bottom line is, Tosfos just says a nice little point. Since you're eating bread, says Tosfos, when you eat bread, everybody knows you're not allowed to eat bread when your hands are wet. So Mela, everybody's very makbid to wipe their hands down until they're completely dry, and therefore we don't have an issue. Again, what did you save here? The cup, which is tamei, will directly be metame your hands. Ein kli metame adam. A kli cannot be metame a person. Why let it become tamei the liquids that are inside? So the Gemara just says what we already explained, that we're talking about a specific derabbanan tumah that's only chal on the outside of the kli, the toichet tar, the gaboy tamei. The inside of the kli is tar. In order, Rabbanan want to differentiate so that people don't go ahead and burn trumas. The Rabbanan, you're not allowed to. It's also to burn truma for no reason. So they said, look, this is a special tumah that the kli is tamei from the outside and inside is tar. People go, what's going on here? What kind of tumah? Oh, it's a derabbanan tumah. We're not going to burn. Fine. This non kli shenitmu achoyev b'mashkin, a kli that only has tumah on the outside, achoyev tmeim. He's wrong. We only had 9 minutes. The rim, the ear, like if you have a mug, you have like this handle, looks like an ear, v'yodav, and a handle, tahirim. nitma toichai, nitma kuloi, and if the inside of the kli became tamei, the whole kli is tamei. And this I also explained before. They hold it's a fundamental machlokes. Could you use a cup that's tamei? They say no. Gzeira mishum nitzotzos. That we're concerned that when you make kiddush, a little bit of the wine is going to go onto the outside of the cup, and then if the cup is tamei, the wine will become tamei, and that in return, the wine that becomes tamei becomes a rishon, and a rishon is going to make your hands tamei. V'lekel migzar, but once his hands are tahar, b'shami, so you have to wash your hands first. V'lekel migzar shemi yitamu amashkim should be daim bakois. So that's it. That's why they say that you wash your hands first, and now you don't have an issue that maybe your hands become tamei. You're allowed to use a cup that's tamei. Amri nitzoysois lo shchichi. Rabbi say, I know there's no time, but I have to tell you this real quickly because this is not a vard, a pshat that I heard 7.5 years ago when I learned the sugya, and this is probably one of the only pshatim that I remember. It's from Reb Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, and I mentioned it yesterday. As the Gemara says over there that we still say nitzoysois lo shchichi, I'm not concerned that wine will drip to the outside of the cup and in return make your hand tamei. Says Reb Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, from here is a raya that you don't fill up your cup to the top like people do. You fill it almost to the top, because if you fill up your cup literally to the top, then what do you mean nitzoysois lo shchichi? Every time you lift your cup, wine is going to drip to the side of your cup like everybody on Friday night. So he says, Memela, don't be makbid. You don't have to be makbid. From this Gemara, you see, you don't have to be makbid to fill the tippy top. That's something else. Not going into that. Now, the reason why you pour your hands first is because you don't want to touch the cup. That in return, if your hands are slightly wet, they are what's going to cause the tumah to your hands, not the nitzotzos, not the wine from the cup. Davar acher, the reason why you pour and then you wash your hands, take it because I want to wash my hands and then jump into the meal. My davar acher, why does the Gemara have to give us another reason? According to you, I'm going with your logic. You say that you're not allowed to use such a kli. The guys read him, there's some sort of far-fetched gzeira. Maybe some wine will pour out. Afilu hachi ha'adifa. My svar, my logic is better. Why don't you agree to my logic? The take of the you should eat right away. Don't make a hefsek with washing your hands and then making a gafen and then doing all these other stuff. Wash your hands and eat the bread right away. Similar sugya. Another machlokes. You have a towel. You wipe your hands on the towel. Now what do you do with the towel? Do you put it in the Mishnah? We learned yesterday at 100 miles an hour. What do you do with the towel? Do you put it on the table or do you put it on your bench next to you on your cushion? What's the nafkimina? You put it on the table. Now the towel has moisture on it, and if it has moisture on it, we have the similar problem. If you put it on the pillow, now according to everybody, there's no problem tum in the pillow. Pillow could be a rishon, a sheni. Nobody ever told us not to use a pillow that's a sheni, right? We even mentioned that Nidas, all these people sitting on your couches, they all have tumah. So there's no problem with that. Maybe the liquid that you just wiped your hands into the towel are going to turn into a rishon. How are they going to turn into a rishon? Because they touched the pillow. The pillow is a sheni that makes the liquid a rishon. And what's going to happen? And they're going to make your hands tummy. Back to square one. The same question. Now, why can't I just go directly from the pillow to the towel? Why do I need liquid? And kli, mitama kli, like we said before. You can't go from a pillow to a pillow. Cannot make a towel tummy. A pillow can make the liquid tummy, which in return makes the towel tummy. Let the pillow be mitama the person, and kli mitama adam. You should take the towel and put it on your pillow. Shematoim al hashulchan gzeira shemayitmu mashkim shebemapa machmas hashulchan. Maybe the table is tamei, it'll make the towel tamei. V'yachshu v'tamis ha'achlan. I'm more concerned about the food. I'm not concerned about the hands. I'm concerned that the towel will touch food and make them tamei. V'letamis shulchan lo'echlim shebetoichai. Hacha b'shulchan shreini askinon. So the Gemara is saying that we're talking about a table that's only a sheni. Vein sheni oisa shlishi, like we said before, a second cannot make a third. Bechulin, vein sheni oisa shlishi bechulin ella ayidei mashkin, only through the liquid in the towel. B'maikam eflagi, v'shami savri osa lishtamish b'shulchan sheni. Gzer b'shumach litruma. V'shami say you can't use a table that's a sheni. Why? Because of the people that eat truma. U'b'sil savri, again, because even truma becomes tamei if you're eating truma from a sheni. A truma, like in this list, a truma becomes a shlishi. A sheni can make a shlishi only in truma, and a shlishi can make a revi only in kachim. In other words, as more chomer as it gets, it's more susceptible to a lighter truma. We still savri mutal. Rabbi say, don't worry about it. We're almost getting out of the sugya. We're going back to Berachos soon. We still savri mutal ishtamish b'shulchan sheni. Or the truma is reason name. We're not concerned about these people that eat truma. They're very careful about truma. Davar acher, and of course we say davar acher, the Gemara is going to ask right away, why do you need to? Ein netilas yadayim lechulim min haTorah. The whole concept of netilas truma and food, like we said before, that's a problem. That's in d'oraisa. But to say that your hands are tummy when the rest of your body is not, that's a new concept, only midrabanan, and I'm not worried about. My davar acher kamru beisila b'shamai. What's the difference between food that Basil are concerned and hands not? Because there's no concept of washing your hands in the Torah. It's better that your hands become tamei. Food does have a source in the Torah to become tamei, and mela, even if it's a sheni, we're makbid. Okay, new sugya. We had do you sweep the floor, or Rashi says your table in our days, before you wash your hands or after you wash your hands? First you sweep, then you wash your hands. Because if you wash your hands first, in other words, my machroinim first, and then sweep, the water is going to drip on the food and ruin the food. And this, the people are moichek it doesn't exist, You're basically repeating the same thing. My time, mishum pirurim, I'm concerned that it'll ruin the crumbs. If the waiter knows his stuff, only the larger crumbs, and he leaves behind the smaller crumbs. You're allowed to throw out smaller crumbs. You're not allowed to step on them, and that's why you have to sweep. You're not allowed to do bezayntit, but you're allowed to throw them out. So what's the machlokes? Somebody that doesn't know the halachas of the, not like we learned Amaris the other day, they have to know Gemara, etc. Amaris that doesn't know the halachas of the Suda, you're not allowed to use them. And therefore what? I'm concerned that he's going to leave larger pieces on the floor. So I got to get rid of the pieces first and then wash your hands. Everything the halach is like bisil, the halach makes sense because the food is going to get ruined on the floor with your water. The halacha makes a lot of sense that we're concerned that the food will get ruined with water. So Mela, it's Beis Hillel that said what Beis Shammai said, that I should first sweep, and then, should we stop here? A little bit further, 1 minute. Beis Shammai Yomrim Neru Mazon. Ravuna Bar Yehuda Ikla Lebei Rava. He went to Rava's house. Chazil Rava the Baruch Absamim Bereisha. First he did Absamim. Omerle Michti Beis Shammai Besil Amar Le Pligi. Aren't they mechulik on the ner? This nan Beis Shammai Yomrim. I say I have this nan. Bisham, it's in the Mishnah. Bishamai oimrim ner umazim b'samim v'havdalah. Ubesil oimrim ner ubsamim, not mazim, but the second thing is b'samim instead of mazim. Mazim havdalah. Oni Rav Asrei zu divri Rebbe Meir. So if you look over here, this is Rebbe Meir. The what? According to Rabbi Yehuda, Birkas Hamazon first, Havdalah b'Seder. What we just mentioned is in Remeir. Ner b'samim. Oh, that's backwards. He's right. Ner b'samim, have to flip it around. Very good. Shkoch David. And that explains Jonathan's. And this would explain everything. So Nagoam like this. Mazain, okay, but Ner b'samim. Yeah? Sorry, like Basil. This is Basil. Sorry, this is Basil. B'samim Ner Avdallah. Have a wonderful day. Shkoyach, Shkoyach. We have to flip the chart. Don't send the chart to the group.
LA, the point, we learn how